Ridiculous Crime is a production of iHeartRadio.
Yo, Elizabeth Dutton.
Zaron Burnett.
I got a question for you, girl.
Yeah, hit me.
You know what's ridiculous?
Oh, I do.
Oh, you were so ready for that one.
I do. We have this friend on Instagram, Jennifer. She's a baker. She is one of the many, many people who have clued us in on weird product mashups.
Oh, no.
I can't help it. That's all I do now. That's all I do. So she's one of a couple people who've mentioned this, but her story is the best about it. That KFC makes a Yule log, like a fire log.
Oh, no.
A Duraflame style log.
Like a Christmas Yule log?
Yeah.
And it's KFC?
It's KFC. So and
I like fried chicken. You're talking to somebody like I am in the
they describe it. It's
market.
The KFC's 11 Herbs and Spices Fire Log by Envirolog. And they describe it as the comforting, crispy aroma of a fried chicken scented fire log wafting from your fireplace.
Fried chicken fire. Did you hear those words, people? Fried chicken fire log.
Yeah. And so, I mean, you want your whole house to smell like rancid grease, I guess? I don't know. So anyway, so Jennifer
Grandma
got
likes it when it smells like a KFC in here.
Basically. Oh, God. Your neighbors are just like... So Jennifer got one for her sister for Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And she promised us that she would give us an update.
Oh, nice.
And it was a big success, apparently.
Oh, we already have the update.
Yeah. She said that it was a big success, smells like KFC, and it's kitty approved. She sent a picture of the cat sniffing the box. So we got the cat tax photo.
So cats believed it smelled like chicken.
Cats believed it smells like chicken. This is just a really cute cat, too, by the way.
Oh, okay.
But then she sent us a picture of the box and a picture of it on fire in the fireplace. So we have proof. We have absolute proof that it actually exists. Because some of these things, like these weird crossovers,
nobody ever has it.
But they don't exist.
Yeah.
These exist.
Okay.
And you can make your whole house stink like fried chicken.
Well, I've got some family I can send it to.
Let's go around to like vegans' houses and
Can you
put
imagine?
them.
Like, we live in the Bay Area. Both of us, we have these, like, can you imagine your neighbors smelling like you burning fried chicken and, like, they would get so, like, you would have it on the next door. People would be talking about, like, I got in a fight with my neighbor because every time they light a fire, it smells like KFC.
And it's bad enough, like, living in the East Bay, like, in the hills, and you have the fire danger. People get upset when their neighbors use a fireplace.
No, and then they also get mad if you're like barbecues cause fights between neighbors.
Well, what if you had
like, I can't believe I'm
if you had a fire pit in your backyard and you because like I've heard people who have vegetarian neighbors
they
get mad.
really upset.
You had that, right?
Yes,
Yeah, you had a neighbor who didn't like you grilling chicken.
Yeah. Super mad about the smell of fried chicken, barbecue chicken.
Yeah.
Like, who hates the smell of barbecue chicken?
Well, so I think that we should just go around to all the fire pits and swap out the logs for KFC logs.
Let's get this party started right here.
So good. So that is my contribution this week to What is Ridiculous.
Ho, ho, ho. Happy holidays. Well, that's ridiculous.
Happy Honda days to you, too.
Make this a December to remember, Elizabeth. I just hope that this holiday sales event is one that we can all be proud of. Oh, okay. I've got a story for you if you got a second.
I do. I do.
Now, my Elizabeth, my partner in crime and storytelling, today I'd like to tell you the story of the Greek Robin Hood.
Oh.
Yeah. This is Ridiculous Crime, a podcast about absurd and outrageous capers, heists, and cons. It's always 99% murder-free and 100% ridiculous. Now, Elizabeth.
Yes.
I told you, my man, the Greek Robin Hood will be the focus of today, right?
Yes.
Now, his name is Vassilis Palaiokostas. Right? Vassilis Palaiokostas, Vassilis. I've heard it both ways, but and you may hear me say it both ways, but be forgiving.
I will.
Vassilis, he arrived on Earth in 1966, right? Like a Beatles record. Now, my man Vassilis, he grew up in the mountains region of central Greece. I'm not sure if you know Greece well. I do not. I know only the stuff around Athens and
it's like
Mykonos.
islands,
And no. So this was up closer to Macedonia in the central mountainous region, very rural. Son of a goat herder, so he's a shepherd's boy. Raised up in super rural country living, right? Family of shepherds, childhood home, no electricity. Sheep were his primary companions. Had an older brother, Nikos, loved Nikos. His brother and he would walk to school every day from their rural home. And in the winter, because it's in the mountains, they would have snow. And when they would walk, Nikos, who was about 6-7 years older, he would put his little brother, Vassilis, up on his shoulders so that way he didn't have to trudge through the snow because it would get like waist deep. And for the kid, it's like chest deep, right?
Aww.
When they would get to their school was run by a priest. They get there, the priest would take the boys and put them by the fire and wouldn't start teaching class until they had all thawed out.
Oh.
So like rural, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's how this is. And this shepherd life, right? It was fine for Vassilis. He wasn't one of the people who like balked at it. But at the same time, the way it's described sounds a little like I wouldn't want to live it. Right?
Yeah, it's rough. Yeah.
There's one quote I found it said, and I quote, "There he watched his father yelling at goats and grew up idolizing his older brother, Nikos." You can kind of just says it all, right?
Dad's out there yelling at goats again.
Exactly. So school turns out to be a source of inspiration for young Vassilis. Not in the way that you might expect. It has nothing to do with what he learns there. It's not academia, but rather a teacher, specifically one teacher who gives him a book. And this book that the teacher gives him is about this guy named Antonis Kachetonis. All right, so Antonis Kachetonis, he also was a shepherd, and he grew up to become a klept. Now, a klept is a Greek term for thieves, or highwaymen.
Like kleptomaniac.
Yeah, I knew you'd catch on to that one. Now, these klepts, these bandit thieves, they were also Greek resistance against the Ottoman Turks, who were the occupying force at the time. And they, until basically World War I, World War II, Greece was like an Ottoman territory, essentially, right? Then during World War II, they're under Nazi Germany. Then there's a fight with Yugoslavia. Tito wants to take over, and he helps the communists try to run. There's this huge civil war. This is all the backdrop of society that young Vassilis is born into, right? And his hero is this guy, Antonis Kachetonis, who, starting all of this fighting, was a highwayman bandit, a roguish anti-hero, right?
Yeah.
So he sees this as kind of an anarchist struggle, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, right? So at age 13, Vassilis moves from the countryside into town with his family. The town is called Trikala, doesn't really matter, but it's a little city, right? Little town. So the year at this point is 1979. Okay. And his older brother, Nikos, has already left home because he's 6-7 years older. And at this point, Vassilis, he also wants to leave home. So,
he's like 13.
Yeah. So he's like, by the time he's about 14, 15, he's like, I'm out of here. He leaves the family. He gets work at a cheese factory, right? Now, the job is fine, work's steady. He doesn't have a problem with it. But this job is the awakening of his political leanings, right? He has been informed prior by the Antonis Kachetonis, the highway bandit. And then now when he's faced with the economic forces of city life, he becomes not militant, but a true anarchist. Not only in theory, but in practice.
Yeah.
So one of his friends from his time at the cheese factory put it, and I quote, "Vassilis suffered his boss's capitalist exploitation, working as a wage slave in a factory, so he turned against those bosses." So you get the idea. He's inspired to become a criminal by capitalism.
Yeah.
So he goes hard into it, and he also is bothered by the hypocritical nature of the crimes of capitalism as he sees them, because Greece up to this point, there's this hard debate. Do we go left and with communism take care of the community? Do we go with individualism and see what you can do in this, society on your own, which they decide to go with because the UK and the Americans help the non-communists win this fight. So the society has gone in the way of individualism, but there's still this collectivist impulse in Greece.
Yeah.
Right? So Vassilis, aware of an old Greek proverb, and I quote, the Greek proverb is, "If you steal something small, you are a petty thief. But if you steal millions, you are a gentleman of society." He hates that. He's like, that ain't right. So he's like, I'm going to become a gentleman not of society.
Yeah.
And he finds his big brother Nikos, and he's like, you know what? We need to get to criming. And Nikos is like, bet. So the two of them, they decide, okay, we need to have a couple ground rules if we're going to do the criming. They decide they don't want to hurt anyone, and they want to live for free on someone else's dime. So they become bank robbers.
Okay.
Right? It's pretty much straightforward.
Yeah.
Now, for the next 7 years, from 1979 to 1986, there are successful robbers who are primarily focused on, get this, video equipment.
Oh.
Yeah, they don't start with banks. They don't
So
start
it's
with
not cash.
payrolls.
They got to
They're just going after like VCRs and, and camcorders. Yeah,
so
it's the 80s.
Like,
so
but it's not like professional equipment.
No, they're holding a lot of value. These are just newly invented, highly desirous pieces of technology. So a VCR in Greece can go for a lot of money.
Rocking up the Radio Shack.
Exactly. So they're robbing Radio Shack and going, we can make this work. But, for criminal education, just like my man Redon Faïd, who will come in many comparisons with this story, my dude Vassilis, he turns to le cinema for a further criminal education, right? Yeah, and we've talked about this. It's a great way because the filmmakers, they thought about it and they show you what could go wrong, which
and
is
if you're
usually
a
the most
visual
important.
learner.
Exactly. So Vassilis, he's keen on 80s action movies and he keeps his video rental card hot. I mean, that thing's popping. He's in there. He's renting Clint Eastwood movies, Arnold Schwarzenegger's movies, Sly Stallone, all the classics of the 80s. And about this time, his big brother gets popped for a robbery. So he's like, I'm going to have to do something about this. I can't have Nikos locked up inside. So he turns to his cinematic files of research and he's like, I got it. I know what to do. You got to sneak something in there. I don't know if he starts with the 1930s movies and he's like, okay, I learned from White Heat. I got to try to sneak in a file. But no, this is what he does. First, he tries to smuggle in knives. Then he gets to metal files. Then he gets to other tools. They're always being confiscated, stolen by other inmates, right? It's not working. He tries to smuggle in a grenade. Like, maybe just hold this in your hand and walk out. That doesn't work.
Isn't that on Nikos if he's giving him all these tools and they get stolen?
That's a good point.
So everyone else has a file and a knife and Nikos is like, well, I don't know. He just
Sorry, he was bigger than I was. So at the 80s, they end, right? And Vassilis, he's like, this is not working. I got to get my brother out. So he goes, all right, I'm going full 80s action movie. He gets himself a tank and he drives the tank.
This guy has gone from I just jacked a VCR to so I got myself a tank.
So I stole a tank. So he steals a tank from an army depot.
Yeah, where? Tanks R Us?
Yeah, he pops down to Tanks R Us. He's like, how much for the one in the back?
I'm just going to take it for a quick test drive.
I just need to see how it handles on the freeway.
Peels out.
He gets down to the prison in Tricola, and he tries to crash through the prison walls. He just tries to go right through the walls.
This is very heavy-handed.
You'll be surprised to learn, Elizabeth, this tank move, spectacular failure.
No.
Yes.
I thought for sure.
He gets caught and arrested, tank confiscated, loses
my tank.
Yeah, he's like, my refund. So he's imprisoned, but only in jail because apparently that's not a major crime trying to break into a jail. They're like, oh, this is cosmetic damage. So he gets out of the jail. His brother Nikos is still in prison because he'd been robbing banks. So he's been there for years. 1991, Vassilis and Nikos have worked out an escape plan. Vassilis has been going out and visiting his brother. Once in, he's like, you know what? I went high tech last time. That didn't work. I need to go low tech. Keep it simple, stupid, right? So he's like, chosen day arrives. He tells Nikos the plan of what to do. Nikos knows. And when the chosen day arrives, Vassilis goes to their agreed upon spot just outside the prison walls. And there he is standing in a snowy spot because it's the winter time. He goes, why not break out when it's more difficult? He weights a rope, right? With basically ties, I don't know if it's metal into the rope or rope around the metal, but either way, it's a weighted knot. And he throws that up and over the prison walls.
Ball of souvlaki.
There you go. A ball of souvlaki inside the rope. He shot puts it over the wall. His brother is there, grabs the rope. He yells I got it. Vassilis ties the other end of the lamppost, and Nikos just climbs up and over, scamps over top. Boom, free.
Wow.
Yeah. So now 1991, and this is time for them to get back into criming.
So all it took was a rope, weighted rope.
Pretty much. So this is also when they have a new role model come into the boy's life, and they're like, we had Antonis Kachatonis as our first. Now they have a new one. His nickname is The Artist. His government name is Kostas Samaras.
Okay, Kostas.
Yeah, Kostas Samaras. Now, these three young, ambitious robbers, they start a crew. And they're like, we don't need a name. Let's just be the boys.
And the guy's street name is The Artist.
The Artist, yeah.
Okay.
They all have nicknames, by the way.
All right, go ahead.
So we'll get to their nicknames. But yes, for now, his nickname is The Artist, right? So in June 92, they pull off their first big bank job. And being who they are, it's as cinematic as possible. The robbery takes place in this town called Kalambaka, right? Or Kalabaka. You can pronounce it either way.
Yeah,
Apparently,
yeah.
it's in central Greece, small town up in the mountains, surrounded by monasteries, long been a hideout for highwaymen and bandits, part of the resistance against the Ottomans. So they go out there, they go to this town, and they decide, we need to do our research. We're going to be serious about this. And Nikos scours the scene using a pair of binoculars. The artist takes out his pen and he goes to pad. He sketches the town square on scraps of paper. And once they have their town blueprint, it's time to crime. So after this short break, Elizabeth, we'll be back and I will tell you how the Kalambaka cinematic robbery goes down.
I can't wait.
Okay, Elizabeth.
Yes.
Where were we?
We were talking about the artist sketching the town.
There you go.
I don't know if I'm scoping something out I put down the sketch pad, man. Like, I don't need the artistic impression of what we're doing.
You don't want to have like the Claude Monet rendering of the church they were going to rob?
He's like an abstract artist. Like, I don't know what these bars
what
and
is this?
What?
This is how the city feels. Okay, Elizabeth. Okay. I set it up. We're in Kalambaka, central Grecian town, surrounded by monasteries, but they have beautiful, beautiful bank. Perfect for robbing.
Stunning.
So I would like you to close your eyes.
Yeah, my eyes are closed.
And picture it. Okay. You happen to be in the small town of Kalambaka, Greece, and you're there for one very Elizabeth reason.
Oh, no.
Trains.
Yes.
Specifically, Kalambaka is the terminal point of the old Thessaly railways, and you want to see some of the old rail cars that they have from the Thessaly railways because those are some of the most beautiful rail cars in Europe, and you're like, I got to come see these trains.
Yeah, I do.
So you've arrived in Kalambaka, and you want to go to the old rail yards, and you've arranged to talk trains with some of the locals, some who worked on the trains building them, others who appointed them. You just can't wait. And there you are, seated on a park bench, waiting to meet somebody later that afternoon, when all of a sudden, boom, serious entertainment arrives in your lap in the form of two men driving up in front of the local police station, which you can see from your park bench. And they place a huge industrial oven in front of the door to the cop shop. And you're like, that's odd. Things in Greece are different than I know. Then you're like, maybe this is like a little jest.
It's a pita party.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe they ordered, like they're going to be cooking stuff later. Anyway, moments later, you hear gunfire. You're like, well, that's interesting. But you don't know it. But little brother Vassilis has hiked up a hill with a rifle, and he has been firing his gun at the police station. The cops inside are convinced that they're under attack, so they attempt to flee the cop shop, but they can't because of the huge industrial oven in front of the cop shop.
Bravo!
And you're watching as the cops fight against the door, and you're like, this seems really odd. Why are they trying to run out into the gunfire? How danger am I? Now, as you sit there on your park bench, sipping your Turkish coffee, asking yourself these questions, you hear the bullets pinging off the cop shop, and you see them trying to fight through the door. And you're waiting for your fellow train aficionados, and you notice more odd behavior.
And I'm not ducking for cover.
You're momentarily very brave.
Yeah, that is true.
So your busybodiness takes over for your fear response.
Too nosy.
You're
I can't leave.
I gotta know what happens. And they're not firing at you, so you don't feel like immediately in danger.
I guess.
So you're sitting there, and you spot this young man, Vassilis, with the rifle. He goes and he meets up with his older brother, who you don't know it's his older brother, but this guy Nikos, and
they look alike.
The artist, Kostas Samaris. The three walk into a bank, but you notice from afar that they look clean. Mm-hmm. They're wearing business suits. They got on sunglasses like they mean business.
That is not how it was in my head before you said that.
They were carrying automatic weaponry like they mean business.
Oh, okay.
So the front doors open to the bank. They're kicked open and Vassilis barks, Listia! Which I will translate for you.
Thank you.
It means, this is a stick-up in Greek.
Okay.
Apparently they only need one word to say this is a stick-up.
Well.
As you sit there on your park bench, waiting for all this to go down, the three men rob 125 million drachmas. And they stuff it in stolen loot into duffel bags, and they cut. You're like, whoa, how much would that be worth today? Good question, Elizabeth.
Yes.
$820,000.
Dang.
Yeah, the three push out of the bank, they hop into their whip, and they escape in the stolen Audi. You're like, oh, that thing looks super clean, just like their suits. And then you hear sirens approaching. You're wondering, how did the cops get out of the shop? Turns out they went around the back, they got in their cars, and now they're going to go chasing after them.
So they're like, oh, we forgot we have a back door.
we should have thought of this earlier. So they rush to their cop cars, and they attempt to chase the robbers, but the robbers, once again, cinematic, ready for them. What have they done but left spike strips across the road? So when the cops roar past you, they don't get far because they hit those spike strips and tires go flat.
Wow.
And they roll to an embarrassing stop.
Yeah.
So you're like, waving at them. Now the cops, after they've limped to their embarrassing stop, they make their way, out of their cop cars, and they watch as the stolen Audi disappears out of town, headed for the mountains. And they're like, we ain't going to catch them.
Yeah.
And before they go, you watch a flurry of drachmas rain over the townspeople like a weather system of good fortune. It is amazing. Vassilis is tossing bills from the stolen Audi until the car disappears in the distance. And just like that, Vassilis, Nikos, and the artist, they all head into the mountains of central Greece, not to be seen for much time. And there you go. You have witnessed their first big job.
And they just sprinkled it on their way out.
Yeah, they sprinkled a ton of it. And you got one hell of a story to tell your train aficionados.
Yeah, I do. They're not showing up to talk.
Not after that. So after the spectacular start as a crew, for whatever reason, Vassilis and Nikos decide, you know what, we're going to quit robbing banks. And they stop pulling stick-up moves. They lay low for years. Some people, they speculate that Vassilis, he went back to his former career in the cheese industry.
Yeah?
Yeah, their story was he escaped to Bulgaria and started running a cheese factory there.
A Bulgarian cheese factory?
Yeah. They're like, where's
this all
Vassilis?
Sounds like euphemisms.
It sounds like I made it all up.
It does sound like...
No, others claim that he was working a cheese shop in the Netherlands. But whatever story you hear, cheese is the central factor. So
the guy loved his cheese.
Vassilis is pushing cheese. I'll tell you one thing I know about Vassilis.
He's a real cheesemonger.
So just as mysteriously as they disappeared, in 1995, Vassilis Palaiokostas returns to criming. And I cannot tell you why. He just decides...
He ran out of cheese.
Now's the time. So... after he left behind his Bulgarian cheese factory or his Dutch cheese shop or whatever, who's to say? It doesn't matter which it was. What we do know is that in December 1995, Vassilis and his big brother Nikos, they get back to work as highwaymen bandits. They're like, we need to get back to the Cachetonis lifestyle, right? So at this point, they've also, as I told you, earned nicknames, right? So we had the artist, but we also now have a nickname for Vassilis. He's called Uncatchable, and his brother is called the Phantom. So Uncatchable, the Phantom, and the artist are once again reunited as a crew. And they need a pair of wheels.
Did the Phantom name himself?
No, unfortunately.
Doesn't that sound like somebody that people call me the Phantom? Who calls you the Phantom?
Nobody. But guys, I want you to call me the Phantom.
From now on, call me the Phantom.
I once tried to give myself a nickname like that. I'm like, people call me this, and it did not work.
What was it? What was your...
Oh, you want to know?
I do.
It's embarrassing. But I was like, I had like a boys camp or whatever. I'm like, the people call me Dizzy. Dizzy Gillespie. What are you okay? You going to be okay over there?
No.
You're just choking on.
Dizzy.
I wanted to be an old jazz man, all right? So I was like, it could have been that or Otis. I either went soul man or jazz man. There's not going to be nothing else.
Dizzy sounds like such a rejected Seven Dwarfs name.
And also, can you imagine?
Like for a little kid, they call me Dizzy.
Yeah,
I was like,
hey,
are you feeling okay? I fall over all the time.
Did you fall off the slide? So this is my sister, Daffy. I'm Dizzy. We're named after the Dean brothers.
And I love it. They call me Dizzy, and people are like, who?
Who? Nobody
Who's
calls
they?
you that. It didn't work, all right? So anyway.
Anywho.
Nikos, when the Phantom and Uncatchable needed a car, they popped down the mountain and they stole this dude's Nissan. And this is like a story from their return to criming. And when they steal the Nissan, they use it to escape because, they go and they rob somebody and then they have to escape. They then returned the Nissan to the man they stole it from, and they actually left 150,000 drachmas underneath,
nice
the footwell. Yeah, which is like $400. But
so he's like, he goes out and it's gone, my Nissan.
Yeah.
And then the next day he goes out, my Nissan.
But not only that, they had polished the car for him. They detailed his Nissan.
These are some good dudes.
Right? I thought you'd like
nice.
that. The villagers of this little town, which was closest to the hideout, where they had been hiding out essentially, there was an old lady there that told the local press that she used to see him all the time. He never said very much, and I quote, but he always had a mischievous smile, which she seemed to like.
I bet she
ladies
did.
like that rogue. Now, after hiding up for a few years, Vassilis and his brother Nikos, a.k.a. the Phantom, they come back to the city, and it's time for a big payday. They've depleted their money. Uncatchable and the Phantom are like, we need to score. Call the artist, right? So back together, December 15th.
All of these are all self-declared nicknames.
Yes.
You can't self-declare a nickname. And no one on this earth is going to be like, you know what? Ask the Phantom. Like, that's just the best name for that guy.
Hey, does the Phantom get here at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock? I don't know. He's out with the artist. Is Uncatchable with him?
Yeah, and that one too. Oh,
So,
oh my God.
Uncatchable, the Phantom, and the artist on December 15th, they decide to make their big move. Now, this dude named Alexander Heitigalo, he was on
What did they call him?
Alex.
Oh.
So he was on his way to work at the halva factory that he owned, and he'd already dropped off his kids at the school. No euphemism, literally dropped off his kids at the school.
He's just throwing rope.
It's just a typical work day for old Alexander Heitigalo. Now, along the way to his halva factory, a Toyota RAV4 raced up next to Alexander's car, forces him off the road. He's like, oh, skids to a stop. And before he can properly react, two brothers hop out of the Toyota RAV4. They grab Alexander, yank him from his car, nice Mercedes sedan, and they force the halva factory owner into the back of their compact SUV, and they speed off, right? Now, what this has been was a kidnapping of one of the leading industrialists of Greece.
Oh,
Yes.
wow.
Now, as a kidnapping victim, Alexander later recalled, and I quote, "It was a well-thought-out kidnapping. My kidnapper's behavior was not bad at all. I was not scared for myself. Actually, I enjoyed some wide-ranging discussions with the kidnappers."
He was almost Russian there for a second.
He wanders. He's a traveler, all right? He's a very busy man. He is a owner.
He's a citizen of the earth,
He's
Zaron.
an industrialist. He knows all the corners of this globe. The three men, they discuss business corruption. In a sense, they basically talk crime. They're like, what do you know? I know crime. I know crime.
That's so weird.
So Vassilis would later explain, what I remember most vividly from that free lesson is the blunt blackmail attempted by the owners of large supermarket chains. For instance, a prepackaged product with a new label Alexander wished to circulate through a large supermarket chain. He'd have to give its boss large sums of black money just for the product to reach the shelves. The specific amount required depended on the display inside the shops. So he's basically describing the corruption habits of most of the major business interests of Greece, right?
Right.
Now, this shakedown by the supermarket chains is, at the time, considered legal. Now, it's like, hey, you want a prime position in my shop? What are you going to pay? That's mafia talk as far as Vassilis is thinking of it. So he's like, we're in the same business.
Yeah.
Right? You just give people halva and I take it.
Yeah, exactly.
So the three men, they stay at a mountain hideout for 3 days. They talk shop, they talk crime, and they get along. They famously have a great time, right? After 4 days, an exchange of money is arranged. Vassilis and Nikos, they take the halva factory owner back to his family. He's been unharmed. They get a $1.5 million in today's money. Total success. And in fact, Alexander, he basically gives his kidnappers a glowing Yelp review. He says, and I quote, "Guys, if only it didn't cost that much, I'd very much like to have another adventure with you."
He's like, they call me the Whirlpool now.
Exactly. I got a
name too.
Whirlpool. And the best part, and by the best part, I mean not the best part at all, is Alexander tried to get his ransom money back, because for his family to spend the $1.5 million. How do you think he tried to do that, Elizabeth?
Blackmail?
He sued the government. He's like, let me sue Greece.
Sue the government?
And he tried to get the taxpayers to pay for his kidnapping. Now, how could you sue the government for being kidnapped? Good question, Elizabeth.
Yeah.
His legal argument was that the Greek government failed him by not rescuing him from his kidnappers.
Well,
and thus all of his neighbors should have to pay.
And he shouldn't have been kidnapped in the first place because of the economic situation. It's the government's fault.
It is, totally. Well,
everything can be traced back.
He lost his lawsuit. So,
oh, surprise.
Yeah. And meanwhile, Vassilis and Nikos, after their successful job, the brothers decide to split up for a while. They're like, hey, we should lay low. We should, people might recognize us. So around the same time, Vassilis goes off and he starts doing his, Greek Robin Hood thing. He's always doing it, but there's a very particular story. There's an orphan girl he meets. And the story goes, this orphan wished to marry, but she had no family because she's an orphan. And she lived in a very rural place, which means she still needed to have a dowry if she wanted to get married. But she had no one to help her with the dowry until Greek Robin Hood shows up And being an agent of love and rebellion and chaos, Vassilis, he gives the orphan 100,000 drachma, which is enough for her to go, and the two are able to wed. So he's like, here you go. This is just one of many stories of him doing these kinds of things, right?
Yeah.
Like, for instance, there's another one. Between 1996 and 1999, Vassilis is living on the lam in the mountains, right? And he'd be spotted driving like a stolen car through the mountains, and the locals just love seeing him because every time they saw him, he'd be bumping really loud, like Greek guitar tracks out of the open windows. And just see him going past, and you're like,
he's just a fun guy.
Totally, just like a finger-picking Greek flamenco music pouring out of the windows. If not, there'd be money coming out of the windows. So in December in 1999, his luck ends, and Vassilis is driving near a maximum security prison, and he had planned to blow up the prison. He's wearing a disguise at the time.
Does he know anyone in this prison?
He's trying to get out the artist. He's like, I got.
Oh, the artist is in there.
As far as I understand.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
So
otherwise, I'm just like, he sees a prison, he's like, let's just blow it up.
We need to blow that.
Let's let them all out.
I free everybody. So he's wearing a disguise, driving, and also he's high. So he's
okay.
Yeah, the reports are he was smoking something. I took that to mean jazz cigarettes.
They're not like, he's smoking cigarettes.
I don't think he's smoking an opium pipe or anything. So anyway, he's driving high in disguise, crashes his car, right? Gets into a car accident. Various witnesses and onlookers, they phone the authorities because, they have 911 at this point. It's the 90s. So Vassilis is injured and he can't escape the car wreck. And he tells the onlookers, don't tell them who I am. I am Vassilis Palaiokostas. So it's like, that's not the way to do that. So whoever phones it in, they did the exact opposite from what he requests. And so there's this great quote from the emergency call center operator informing the police that they're headed to the scene of this accident. We got a man here who told he must have a head injury. He thinks he's the most wanted man in Greece. That's like in all the paper reports. Anyway, turns out he was both the most wanted man in Greece and he had a head injury. So the cops arrest Vassilis. He stands trial. He's convicted. He gets sentenced to 25 years for bank robberies and the kidnapping of the fat cat industrialist. Vassilis is sent to a prison on the island of Corfu, where he immediately begins to work on an escape plan.
Of course.
But the guards discover his handmade blueprint that he is once again doing artist style. He's like drawing a blueprint.
Right.
He figures that they guess what he's up to. They tell the warden. The warden's like, don't worry about it, right? So they're like, well, no, you have to. He's like, okay, fine, transfer him. So they transfer him to an Athens prison. So there he's at an Athens prison. He makes a new plan to escape, draws up a new blueprint, just like the artist would want him to. So this somehow, he's able to get a metal file snuck into him. He uses this metal file to start loosening the bars. He's sawing through the bars every day, working a little bit. And he's like being a model prisoner. Everything's to be fine. Now, turns out he got this metal file snuck into him in a package of spaghetti. I didn't know you could get packages of spaghetti as a prisoner. I was like, do they have pots of hot water?
Amazon order.
How does this work? Did they not check packages of spaghetti? Anyway, the guards, they were aware that there was a metal file, and for their own little amusement, they told the warden about it. Warden's like, oh yeah, let him work on it. So they let him try to file his way out. And then the warden, for his little cat and mouse game, he goes in every so and so often, checks to see how he's doing. He looks to see how far he is and trying to estimate when he's going to get out.
What in the world?
The day that he's convinced Vassilis is going to get out, he's like, hey guys, let's go down in the yard and wait for him. So they go down and wait for Vassilis. Vassilis gets out. He finally saws through the last bar, lifts out. He's got a hole, pushes through the hole of his window, drops down, and there are a bunch of armed guards and the warden waiting for him. And the guards start pointing guns at him. The warden's like, no, put the guns down. Hey, you want out of here? You're going to have to fight me for it. So the two get in a fist fight. The warden tells him, if you can beat me, I'll let you out of the prison.
And the warden's like, they call me the traffic jam. They're like, who's they?
They call me the traffic jam. So the traffic jam, he takes on Uncatchable. Uncatchable, he catches a couple to the face. And he gets beat bad by the warden, right? So Vassilis is sent back inside. And after this short break, I will tell you how he gets back to criming, because he definitely does.
Oh, God.
All right, Elizabeth, where were we?
You were telling me about a bare-knuckle fight between a warden and an inmate.
That's right, Greek prison.
For freedom.
For freedom. Freedom! So, my man, Vassilis Palaiokostas, he's been sent from one prison to another, and he went from Corfu, now he's back in Athens. The warden's been taunting him. He's been beaten up after he tried to escape. After he's sent back inside, he's given a new cellmate. Turns out the new cellmate will play a big hand in the future of everything he does. His new cellmate's name is Alkit Rize. He is an Albanian hitman. And for whatever it's worth, Alkit Rize, he swears he was no hitman and that he was wrongfully arrested. So the papers all say he was a hitman. He swears he was not a hitman, and that guy just happened to be dead.
And they call him the Thunderclap.
His name was Thunder Bunny.
That's what they call him.
The two men get to know each other in the cell. Just like Jiro dreamed of sushi, they dream of escape, right?
Right.
And Vassilis dreams about calling down, quote, a missile strike on the prison walls.
Oh.
He's still an 80s action movie head.
Yeah.
And
he's like, someone will steal a helicopter for me.
Yeah. Little do you know. It takes them 20 days together before they decide on a plan and they put it into action. On the 20th day together, June 4th, 2006, they have contacted brother Nikos. He's their point man on the outside. They have arranged a plan and everything's go. Nikos chartered a helicopter from a sightseeing company.
Stop. I just think 80s action movie and I think helicopter.
Exactly, as did they.
Wow.
So Vassilis and Nikos were like, according to the Elizabeth plan.
I'm sorry, the Phantom.
Sorry, you're right. My mistake. As soon as Nikos, the Phantom, is in the air with the sightseeing helicopter pilot, so they go up in the chartered helicopter. The pilot's like, so what do you want to see here in Athens? And Nikos pulls out a gun and goes, take me to the prison. He's like, that's not normally what people want to see. So Nikos has a grenade just in case the guy tries to get clever. He's like, I got a gun and a grenade. Grenade would be good for you. So he yanks out the radio, so now the guy can't call the cops. He orders the pilot to fly to the prison. The pilot's like, okay, you got the gun, so that's a persuader. I'm doing it.
Then
Flies
you
there.
are the Phantom.
Yeah, I gotta listen to you, the Phantom. So, Mr. the Phantom, tell me, where should I be landing? And so the Phantom tells him the prison exercise yard. And he's like, oh, okay, it's gonna be difficult, but I can do that. Vassilis and cellmate Alkit Rize, they're in the yard waiting, and they have snapped a lockdown on the gate so that the guards can't chase them. It's like an improvised lock that they've created. They pull out a red Che Guevara flag that he had on his prison wall. This is why the two of them got along so well. When Alkit sees his new cellmate has a Che Guevara flag on, he's like, oh, we're going to get along great. So the two of them
got all sorts. They got pasta, they got spaghetti, they got Che Guevara flags.
They got movie nights, and they got everything. No, so they're like waving the Che Guevara flag on the prison exercise yard. The helicopter lowers enough that the two men can reach the landing skids. By then, the prison guards are fully aware this is actually a prison break. This is not like prison officials coming for an inspection, which is what they think originally. And they're like,
so innocent.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So the guards, they point their guns at the men, but then they're like, wait. Because they realize the prison is located in a residential neighborhood, and all the prison guards know that on the other side of the prison walls are a bunch of neighborhood kids who always kick soccer balls against the prison walls, and they don't want to shoot the kids, so they're like, let them go. So the guards
the kids playing outside the prison is so great.
Yeah, I thought you'd like that.
I do like that.
So they watch the helicopter lift up into the sky. Bye-bye. And they're gone. After a short flight...
And the kids all cheer, yeah!
Pretty much. The chopper lands in a cemetery on the north side of Athens. Vassilis hops out, hugs his brother, says, we made it! Right? And they did. And then he attends to the helicopter pilot, and he's like, here, man. He gives him worry beads, and he says, you will be okay.
The guy's like, yeah, I'm a little more worried about how much this is going to cost me.
Dude's going to get arrested by the police because they're convinced he's in on it. He's got a tough few days in front of him.
Yeah.
Anyway, after they give the worry beads to the helicopter pilot and tell him he's okay, the three highwaymen...
worst consolation prize.
Totally.
Here's a choker necklace.
They hop on stolen dirt bikes and zoom off. Vroom, vroom, right? And
just toodling.
Yeah, exactly. Scooting and toodling. Alkit Rize, he later recalled, and I quote, I was so full of drugs and adrenaline, I could barely show any emotion. I just sat there, stunned. But when we eventually switched into cars, I drove as fast as I could, knowing that I didn't have to think about prison anymore. It felt like paradise.
So he's Russian too.
Everybody's Russian too. You know what? What do you want from me? Everyone's Russian here in Greece.
I think in the world, everyone's Russian.
A Greece accent, I don't know how to do a Greek accent without being just straight up offensive. Like, I don't want to do anything.
Yeah,
It's like, so
I got you.
I'm just going like a rough Slav.
I like it.
Slav. So he said of their escape, it was a picture perfect, or in his words, and forgive the accent, the ultimate aim in a jailbreak is to leave nice and pretty and to say cheers and bravo as you leave.
Cheers and bravo.
Which is exactly apparently what they did. They were waving a Che Guevara flag and yelling cheers and bravo as they flew away. So Greek Robin Hood is once again free and on the lam and reunited with his brother Nikos. And so what goes down next for Greek Robin Hood? Well, 3 months after their daring escape, Alket Rizé gets caught and returned to prison because they're not good at freedom, Elizabeth.
Yeah.
And months later, in that same year, 2006, big brother Nikos, he is also caught and apprehended by police. He gets nabbed after a high-speed car chase. Meanwhile, these guys are always on high-speed car chases. There's so many high-speed car chases, I'm not even going to tell you about all of them.
Not the Phantom. They got the Phantom?
They caught the Phantom. But Uncatchable, true to his nickname, stayed free. So at this point, he's like got a new focus. He's like, I gotta get my big brother out of prison.
Yeah.
And he's also a little bothered because his baby brother, the Phantom, is now known as the most wanted outlaw in the land. He's like, his nickname is better than mine. I need to do something about this. So baby brother Vassilis, he decides, I'm going to need some money to break my brother out. So he goes and he kidnaps another Greek industrialist. Go back to what you know.
You can't walk anywhere in Greece without just tripping over shipping magnets.
Yeah, the place is just lousy with magnets and industrialists. So June 9th, 2008, he and two men, they kidnapped George Milonis, and he's an aluminum magnet. So
there it is.
Mixing it up.
Yeah.
So he's grabbed at gunpoint by Vassilis and two men wearing hoods, armed with shotguns, which is always a good look.
Yeah.
2 weeks later, the fat cat industrialist gets released, once again, unharmed, after his family paid how much? $19 million American in ransom.
That's a come up.
Today's dollars, by the way.
Because what was it, 1.5?
1.5 first time. Yeah. Good memory. Now, the police tracked the ransom money because it had been marked, and they were able to locate the hideout of Vassilis. So 2 months after the kidnapping, in August, as he's laying about his mountain hideout with an anarchist friend, watching a DVD of Monty Python and the Holy Grail,
Seriously?
Yeah, truly. The anti-terrorism squad busts into the door and arrests the huge cinephile.
Nobody expects the anti-terrorism squad.
Exactly. Now, Vassilis is rearrested and returned to prison. For some reason, the Greek authorities, they decide to put Vassilis and his old cellmate, Alket Rizé, back together in the same cell.
Why not?
They're saving space. They're like, well, we already have the number system worked out. Luck of the draw.
Yeah, exactly.
So as they prepare for their new trial, he and Alket, they prepare a new escape plan.
Yeah.
They're like, let's go back to what we know.
Get out the sketch pads,
now,
baby.
Outside of court for his new trial in Athens, the local villagers come in from all those surrounding towns that he's been basically hiding out in. And they come into the city and they gather to protest his arrest. There's a group of rural farmers, and along with them are urban anarchists. And then also swelling into this crowd are peasants and shepherds who are all shouting, "Death to the pigs! Freedom to Palaiokostas! Death to the pigs! Freedom to Palaiokostas!"
Oh my God. All the ghosts are all...
Yeah, exactly. Goats in the streets. People are they're buying in protest. So at one point during all this media circus trial, Alket Rizé's girlfriend swans into the courtroom. She makes a big scene. Everyone's like, "Oh, look at her. She's so dramatic and beautiful." And she's allowed to hug her incarcerated boyfriend. I don't know how this plays out in Greece, but she uses the opportunity to slip something in his pocket. It's a watch with a tiny radio.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So on February 22nd, 2009, Alket's girlfriend phones him on this little Dick Tracy prison watch. And she lets him know, "Baby, it's on." And so Alket and Vassilis were led out into the prison yard for their daily exercise. And around 3:45,
his giant watch.
Yeah, exactly.
Where the face is like the size of the palm of his hand.
He's got dobs and stuff.
It's got a big antenna coming out of it. Yeah.
So 3:45 in the afternoon, a helicopter is spotted approaching the prison.
Oh, God.
The helicopter is yet another hijacked chopper. And this time it's Alket's girlfriend who's holding the automatic rifle. And Nikos is, instead of Nikos, this time it's Alket's girlfriend. She's kidnapped a pilot at gunpoint and forced him to fly to the prison yard. She pulls on the gun on the pilot and tells him, "We're going to pick up the kids. Go to Los Prisons or you die." Always with the kids. Dropping kids off, picking kids up.
She's
anyway.
like, "And by the way, they call me the Spectre." No, they don't. They don't call
I'm the Phantom's
old
lady.
Now they do. Now you do.
So the pilot does as instructed. The chopper arrives at the desired landing zone. The helicopter hovered over the prison yard. And a rope ladder's tossed down on the side. And his girlfriend, brandishing a machine gun, provides cover for the two men as they climb the rope ladder.
No way.
This time, there's no kids playing soccer on the other side of the prison wall. So the guards open fire. The two get in like an open gunfight. And she's gunning from the open helicopter doors like it's a Vietnam War movie.
Oh my
The
God.
guys are climbing and scrambling as fast as they can up this rope ladder. And they manage to basically tell him, we're on the ladder, take off. And she turns to the guy, lift off. And he does. And they take off and manage to escape.
And they're just dangling on the rope ladder.
Yeah, well, at one point, a prison guard tries to grab Alcat. He's reaching for the ladder.
No.
Alcat turns, and he's got a kebab skewer in his hand.
Stop it.
He's armed with
You
the kebab
stop that
skewer,
right now.
And he tells him, step back or I'll stick you.
He seriously
I
had a
swear to
kebab
God.
skewer. Like, that's not like an offensive.
So the pilot obliges. They get airborne. And by the way, all this is on YouTube if you want to watch it. You can see it for yourself.
Smelled like oregano. Like, oh, Zaron, come on.
Come on now. The prison guards, after they had unloaded their clips into the underside of this helicopter, they'd pierced the gas tank, they severed the fuel line. This helicopter's not making it far. But it does make it to the side of a highway in the suburbs of Athens, where they land. The pilot is fine. He's left bound and gagged and hooded. Vassilis, Alcat, and his girl, they're gone like the wind.
Wow.
Yeah. So the Greek news interrupts all the daily soap operas with the breaking news of the daring prison escape of Vassilis Palaiokostas. This is the beginning of the largest manhunt in Greek history. Now, a month later, 2 men and a woman, storm into a bank in the hometown of Vassilis and rob it. The robbers are reported to be, quote, the fugitive Vassilis Palaiokostas, Alcat Rosé, and their female accomplice, a blonde Laura Croft.
No.
That's what they describe her in the press. All 3 escape unharmed and with a small fortune. But not long after that, Alcat and his girlfriend, they get nabbed by the Greek police. They're like, we've got the Spectre.
They're like, these two, they're just too foxy. Yeah, we got the Spectre.
Uncatchable, true to his nickname, he stays free on the lam.
Nice.
And he gets spotted by rural villagers who they say they always notice him in the VW Touaregs. Apparently he just likes stealing Touaregs. So he would like steal a Touareg, get some cash in his hand and go for a drive and just throw money out the window as he was driving around listening to like Greek guitar music.
Yeah, he's just jamming.
And also there's all these tales of his acts of charity, but there's one I thought you would like. Is this poor family, right? And it's the middle of the night and they hear a knock at their door. And when they open it, all they find waiting for them is an envelope. Inside the envelope is 10,000 euros, the exact amount of money needed for medical treatment for the father whom the whole family depended on. So he just comes in, basically drops off the money, and he isn't even there for them to say thank you.
How does he find these things out? Is he just like
he knows
at people's
locals.
windows at night?
Yes, just like that. Yeah, he gathers at the window. He's got a big ear horn. He leans in. No, he basically, as an underground guy, he keeps his ear to the wind. And when he hears about these things, he's like, I can go do something about this. So stories like this proliferate through the mountains of Greece, and everybody's always hoping that the Greek Robin Hood will be so kind as to roll into their town with his Greek music coming out of the windows and money.
And I'm sure that people start planting like sob stories like, totally. I really just need 20,000 euros and then I'll have my dream of getting a new fake leg. Like, you don't have a fake leg. Well, like if I had to have one.
Let's just say I needed one. Yeah, so Greek like Queen for a Day has become like the thing, right? Everyone's like all these sob stories. But Vassilis, when he's not spotted in his Touareg, listening to his Greek guitar pick music, the authorities are convinced that they can't find him because he must have had cosmetic surgery, which turns out he had. He had multiple cosmetic surgeries, and it works. It allows him to stay free, and he remains so to this day.
Do you think he looks like one of the Real Housewives now? Probably.
He's got that immovable mask.
He's got that special new face that all of those people have.
Yeah,
the cheekbones and
the West Side LA face.
Yes, that's what he looks like now.
Yeah, he just looks like Santa Monica.
Everyone, keep your eyes open.
You'll find him there. Now, there have been numerous run-ins with him. Most notably, he still loves movies. So his love of video rental stores almost cost him his freedom. In 2009, he left his hideout to go rent some movies. He popped down to the video rental store, and there was a team of 15 undercover police who'd set up a sting operation because they were aware of his video rental habit, and they were just waiting there, and like, he's got to return movies
soon. And they're just waiting to hear the music coming down the hill.
Exactly. They hear the Greek guitar music.
Oh, God.
So before he gets out of his stolen Touareg, he spots the cops, and the highwayman bandit, he gives the cops the eye, the cops give him the eye, and at one point, They've cornered the most wanted man in Greece. And Vassilis would later recount, and I quote, "So I let it rip. I sped down an alley to escape, and bullets were dancing inside my car's cabin. These guys opened fire and shot more than 150 bullets in 15 seconds. He's like, nothing. That's just a Tuesday for me.
So he's telling this story.
Yeah.
In what venue?
Because he survived, and he didn't fire back. I'll tell you that in a second.
Okay, yeah, because I'm like, how are we? Okay.
Yeah, so he survived. And my point is he lived to tell the story.
Now.
Yeah, and he didn't fire back. So he gets all these 15 cops fired and whatever, 150 bullets. Because all those years as a bandit, he never once used a gun. He was very much against hurting anyone.
Yeah.
That's his original code that he and Nikos came up with. So he escapes that day, and he remains on the lam, occasionally robbing banks and then disappearing into the mountains he calls home.
Okay.
And this has just been what he's been doing. And now clearly you can tell I like the Greek Robin Hood.
Right.
He's my dude. And because mostly, I think this is my favorite part about him. The Greek Robin Hood, his existence implies the existence of like the Greenland Robin Hood and the Zimbabwean Robin Hood.
Exactly.
And the Mongolian Robin
Yes.
Hood. We need all the Robin Hoods we can get.
I want to go to the convention.
Now, Elizabeth, quick question. Although he's not currently in prison, as I pointed out, Vassilis did spend plenty of time inside. So what does that mean for his career prospects?
Not good, Bob.
No, it's actually very good in one particular field.
Entrepreneurship.
He's now a qualified author. So how do we know Vassilis wowed the publishing world with his memoir in 2019?
No.
He's on the run and he writes a memoir and it's a bestseller hit.
Of course. That's the one.
Now, allow me to quote from
gig.
a review of the memoir autobiography. And I quote, "In its pages, you can find explanations about the correct choice of a hostage for ransom, no women or children. The most important thing in planning an escape from prison is to have someone willing to sacrifice his life for you, and warnings about the many obstacles that stand in the way of those who choose illegality as a way of life." Now,
oh my God.
There's one other passage in the review that kind of highlights all of his many little side quests that he went on that I didn't have time to cover in this, but it kind of gives you an idea what he was doing when I said he was on the lam.
Mm-hmm.
And I quote, "One of the most beautiful chapters in the book, however, takes place away from Greece and from all of Vassilis' illegal entanglements. In the early 1990s, when the authorities dropped a series of robbery cases on him, Palaiokostas was in the midst of a long bicycle trip with a fake Brazilian passport and a friend. The journey, which began in Germany and ended in China, provides the reader with a magical moment of the rest from the stressful life in the shadow of illegalism."
Wow.
He rode on a bike trip from Germany to China with a fake Brazilian passport and a buddy.
As you're getting ready to read that, I'm thinking like, writers across the globe heave a heavy sigh of another. But this guy sounds
He's
fascinating.
got a story.
Okay, he's earned the book deal.
And now in case you wanted to know, like, what does his writing voice sound like?
Yes.
In 2021, there was a translated version of his book. And in case you wanted to read it, Elizabeth, it's available on Amazon.
I'm on it.
Also, other fine booksellers if you don't want to support a corporate giant.
Thank you.
Vassilis writes about his criminal ethos as the Greek Robin Hood. And I quote, "My conscience prohibits me from selling guns, protection of small businesses, drugs. They also forbid me from entering a house to steal, to kill an old lady, to become a snitch, to cooperate with a cop, a politician. What do they allow me? Only bank robberies, abducting rich people, and being part of a revolution towards a more just world." That's his story.
Abducting rich people thrown in there so good.
That's one thing my conscience allows me to do.
Allow me to
Just snatch up a couple
human
rich people.
being. Yeah, I'll take someone and make them think they're not going to live. Yeah, sure.
Well, no, he never does that. He lets them know, look, I'm only here for the cash. You're worth this much to your family.
Well, then why wouldn't they just walk off? There has to be some threat to their life.
There's a threat to they can't escape. Like, if I chain you up, I don't need to tell you I'm going to kill you. I can just tell you, good luck getting away from the chains.
Right. But what if I do? Then what, are you going to just let me walk off?
Then I've lost my prey and I'm going to go get another fat cat and chain them up. I don't know what to tell you.
There's implicit violence in that.
There can be, but there's not a necessary violence.
Yeah.
You can do this with just like, look, hey, sit down, relax, watch some TV. I'm going to bring you some microwave dinners and we're going to talk about supermarkets. What? Well, as I said before, Vassilis Palaiokostas is still out there robbing banks for a more just world.
There it is.
And if you hear this, hit us up, Vassilis.
Yeah.
Because we'd love to have you come on the show and be the first guest for our ridiculous crime book club.
Oh, that would be amazing.
Right? Well, Elizabeth, what's our ridiculous takeaway for this one?
You know what? Don't ever make your own nickname.
You making fun of me?
No, Dizzy, I'm not.
My ridiculous takeaway, once again, thank you for asking, is simple. Look, if you don't hurt anyone, I'm probably going to root for you over the fat cat industrialists every time, especially the ones who are engaged in crimes of their own, like the dude with the corruption in the supermarkets, because that affects everybody, right?
I 100% agree with
and
you.
definitely I'm going to root for the Greek Robin Hood over the kinds of villains who say, you know what, I got a ransom, I'm going to make all the taxpayers pay. I mean, like, that to me is just as whack as somebody going in and robbing a bank. In fact, it's worse in some ways.
Ordinary people, we get screwed over all day, every day.
Yeah.
So, sometimes you got to get your own back, I guess.
Yeah, and also, I mean, how can you not root for a Greek Robin Hood, nicknamed Uncatchable, who bumps guitar music from the windows of stolen cars as he tosses money out the window?
They call him Uncatchable. Who's they?
Well, that's all I got for you.
That's beautiful.
Well, you can find us online at Ridiculous Crime on both Twitter and Instagram. Twitter is for the updates, the dumb stuff, the shout-outs, interactions. Instagram, that's where we put the photos for each episode, and also we give peeks at the shows to come. The stories offer you some laughs, and you get sneak peeks on both. But either way, if you'd like to contact us, you can tweet at us or email us if you want at ridiculouscrime@gmail.com. Thanks for listening. Ridiculous Crime is hosted by Elizabeth Dutton and Zaron Burnett. Produced and edited by the Providence Robin Hood, Dave Houston. Research is by Rogue Bandit of the Archives, Marissa Brown. Our theme song is by the artist, Thomas Lee, and the finger-picking guitar man, Travis Dutton. Executive producers are Ben. It's all Greek to me, Bolin, and Noel. I'm a Greek on a leash, Brown.
Ridiculous Crime.
Say it one more time.
Ridiculous Crime.
Ridiculous Crime is a production of iHeartRadio. For more podcasts from iHeartRadio, visit the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to your favorite shows.